Stop everything you're doing right now and listen closely, because what I'm about to share could change the trajectory of your wealth, your freedom, and the life you're building. Silver isn't just a shiny metal, it's a signal, a rare opportunity hidden in plain sight, quietly shifting the balance of power in the financial world. Those who recognize it early, those who act decisively, will look back one day and realize they were standing at the edge of transformation, holding in their hands the keys to their future. I remember the first time I truly understood the power of silver. I wasn't chasing headlines, I wasn't following the crowd. I was studying history, patterns, and the way wealth always finds a way to preserve itself through tangible assets. And then it clicked. Silver isn't just an investment, it's freedom, it's strategy, it's a mindset. Every ounce carries a story of those who dared to see opportunity when others saw risk. And today, you have that same choice, to watch this moment slip by or to seize it and step into a path that can redefine your life. Think about the entrepreneurs who started small, the investors who quietly stacked silver while everyone panicked at the market swings. They didn't wait for permission. They didn't wait for trends to stabilize. They took action, built positions, educated themselves, and aligned their wealth with something that can't vanish overnight. Look at people like the early silver believers during market corrections. While the headlines screamed fear, they quietly transformed a few ounces into financial freedom, a cushion that gave them leverage, security, and opportunity others only dream about. The first thing to understand is patience. Wealth built on silver isn't instant gratification, it's compounding wisdom. Think of each coin, each bar, as a seed. Plant it now, nurture it, protect it, and in time it grows into a foundation strong enough to weather storms most investors can't even imagine. Microhook. Imagine holding something today that could multiply your life's choices tomorrow. That's the power of strategy over panic, of foresight over fear. The second truth is strategic action. You cannot wait for the perfect moment. Life doesn't give perfect signals. It gives opportunities wrapped in uncertainty. Smart investors know that silver's value isn't just price, it's timing, allocation, and mindset. Allocate wisely, buy consistently, and treat every purchase like you're not just acquiring a metal, but acquiring freedom. Metaphorically, every ounce is a step on a ladder leading to financial independence, a rung closer to the life you've been envisioning. The third principle is courage. Silver rewards those who act when others hesitate. When markets wobble, when fear grips the headlines, it's your chance to lean in, to see opportunity where others see chaos. Consider the stories of people who took calculated risks, who trusted research over rumor. They didn't gamble blindly, they moved decisively, built positions, and positioned themselves to benefit when the world finally recognized silver's value again. Microhook. Don't just watch history unfold, be part of the chapter that changes your story forever. Finally, mindset. Your wealth journey isn't just about metals, it's about vision. Every ounce of silver you acquire is a reminder that discipline, foresight, and courage are the true currencies of life. Combine this with knowledge, with deliberate action, and suddenly, you're no longer just an investor. You're a strategist, a builder, a creator of your own destiny. Action shift. Start small if you must. Educate yourself, diversify, and develop habits that compound not only your wealth, but your confidence and freedom. Right now, as you listen, you have the power to pivot, to decide that silver isn't just a commodity, it's a tool, a catalyst, a vehicle for the life you want. Take action, embrace the strategy, build slowly but decisively, and let every ounce remind you that freedom is tangible, that wealth is a mindset, and that those who act while others hesitate are the ones who write history. Silver is not just a shiny metal. It is one of the rarest opportunities in the financial world today, quietly sitting in plain sight while most investors overlook it, distracted by flashy headlines and the noise of short-term market swings. When you truly understand silver, you begin to see it as more than an investment. It is a symbol of preservation, a tangible asset that has maintained value for centuries, and a tool that can protect, grow, and transform wealth in ways that paper assets rarely can. The rarity of silver, both in supply and in the understanding of its true potential, makes it a unique opportunity for those willing to see beyond the surface. People often get caught in the fear of missing out or the fear of losses, but those who recognize silver's intrinsic value and the historical patterns of how it has moved in times of uncertainty will find themselves in a position of immense advantage. This is not speculation. It is observation backed by centuries of financial history, showing that precious metals, and silver in particular, act as both a hedge and a catalyst for wealth creation. When others panic during market volatility, silver quietly holds its value, and those who remain calm and strategic are able to accumulate positions that can multiply significantly over time. The first thing to grasp about silver is its scarcity. Unlike fiat currency that can be printed endlessly, silver exists in finite quantities, mined slowly and often hoarded by institutions that understand its long-term significance. Its dual role as both an industrial metal and a store of value makes it extraordinarily versatile. Every global economic shift, every market disruption, and every financial crisis reminds us of silver's role as a safe haven. Those who recognize the opportunity early are rewarded, not just financially, but psychologically, because they gain control over their financial destiny. Understanding this principle means adopting a mindset that values long-term vision over short-term speculation. While the headlines scream about market crashes or temporary slumps, the careful observer sees an opportunity to acquire something tangible, something that has historically withstood the tests of time: inflation and global uncertainty. Silver is more than an asset. It is a strategic choice, a way to position oneself ahead of the crowd, to quietly build a foundation that can support freedom, growth, and future opportunities that others may not even imagine. Investors who truly understand silver see it as a multidimensional tool. It is a hedge against inflation, a buffer during economic instability, and a vehicle for wealth accumulation that does not rely on the volatility of stocks or the whims of central banks. The people who seize this opportunity are not impulsive gamblers. They are disciplined, patient, and observant. They follow patterns, track supply and demand, and understand that even small, consistent acquisitions over time can lead to significant long-term impact. In the same way that visionaries in other industries recognize opportunities before they become mainstream, silver investors learn to spot moments when others are blinded by fear or distraction. They act with confidence, knowing that true opportunity often arrives when it is least obvious, when the crowd is distracted by short-term chaos, and when the fundamentals remain solid. This rare opportunity is also about timing and perspective. Understanding when to enter the market, when to accumulate, and when to hold requires both knowledge and intuition. Those who succeed are constantly educating themselves, observing global trends, and maintaining a mindset that blends patience with proactive action. They recognize that silver is not just a metal, but a strategic lever, a way to preserve and grow wealth in a manner that aligns with their long-term goals. It allows them to participate in the market without being entirely dependent on its unpredictable swings, giving them control, confidence, and the ability to make decisions from a position of strength. Moreover, silver offers a psychological advantage. When others panic, when markets fluctuate and fear spreads, the person who has prepared, who has accumulated silver strategically, feels empowered. They know they hold something real, something that has historically been resilient, and this confidence allows them to act with clarity rather than react with emotion. This rare combination of scarcity, value, versatility, and historical stability is what makes silver an opportunity unlike any other in today's financial landscape. A chance to position oneself not just for wealth, but for freedom, control, and a future defined by deliberate choices. Patience and consistent accumulation are the foundations of true wealth, and when it comes to silver, these qualities are more important than any sudden market timing or impulsive decision. Too often, people look for shortcuts, searching for the moment when prices spike or hoping to catch a sudden trend, but the reality is that wealth built on silver is a journey, not a sprint. Every ounce, every coin, every small investment contributes to a growing base of financial security and freedom. Those who understand this principle approach silver with a long-term perspective, knowing that small, steady actions compound over time into results that can be life-changing. This mindset requires discipline, the ability to resist noise and distraction, and the focus to stick to a plan even when the market seems uncertain or when others are panicking. Consistency, rather than impulsive moves, is what separates those who achieve financial independence from those who constantly chase fleeting opportunities. The process begins with understanding that silver is not just a commodity, but a tool for long-term financial empowerment. Its intrinsic value, scarcity, and dual role as both an industrial metal and a store of wealth make it uniquely positioned to protect and grow capital. By accumulating silver gradually, investors benefit from dollar-cost averaging, minimizing the risk of entering at a single point and instead building a position that can weather market volatility. This method may seem slow to some, but history shows that disciplined accumulation during times when others hesitate is what creates the most dramatic results. Microhooks throughout the journey, such as noticing small trends, understanding global supply dynamics, and tracking institutional behavior, reinforce the power of patience and strategic positioning. Many successful investors have demonstrated the effectiveness of this approach. They did not wait for a perfect headline or a market crash. They acted consistently, building their positions ounce by ounce. Over time, their patience rewarded them with both financial gain and peace of mind. Each purchase became a step closer to long-term security. Each accumulation reinforced the mindset of strategic action over reaction, and each decision reinforced the discipline necessary to navigate a volatile world. These investors understood that compounding is not limited to interest rates or portfolios. It applies to habits, knowledge, and consistency as well. By treating silver accumulation as a long-term habit rather than a speculative gamble, they positioned themselves to benefit from both financial growth and the confidence that comes with having control over their resources. Another critical aspect of patience in silver investing is resisting the pull of emotion. Market swings, fear-based news, and social pressure often tempt people to sell too early or chase short-term spikes. Those who succeed cultivate the ability to observe, analyze, and act based on strategy rather than impulse. They understand that real wealth does not come from timing the highs perfectly or avoiding every dip, but from steady, disciplined action that gradually builds an unshakable foundation. The psychological advantage of this approach cannot be overstated. Confidence grows with each ounce accumulated, with each step taken toward long-term goals, and with each demonstration of self-control in the face of market noise. Furthermore, patience allows for strategic planning. When silver is accumulated consistently, investors can adjust their approach based on evolving opportunities, economic trends, and personal goals. They are not forced to react impulsively. They have the flexibility to make calculated decisions, allocate resources wisely, and take advantage of moments that others miss because they are acting out of fear. This cumulative approach turns a simple habit into a powerful lever for building financial freedom, allowing the investor to navigate uncertainty with clarity and foresight. In this way, consistent accumulation is not just about buying silver, it is about cultivating a mindset, a rhythm of action, and a disciplined framework that shapes every financial decision, transforming ordinary steps into extraordinary outcomes over time. Strategic action beats panic, and when it comes to silver investing, understanding the difference between fear-driven reactions and calculated moves can define the trajectory of your wealth. The world is full of noise, headlines screaming about market crashes, social media amplifying fear, and the constant pressure to react immediately. Yet, those who succeed recognize that true opportunity often hides within chaos, and that the ability to act strategically rather than emotionally is a superpower in financial growth. Silver, by its very nature, rewards those who approach it with clarity, foresight, and a disciplined plan. It is not about chasing short-term gains or attempting to predict every market swing. It is about positioning oneself to take advantage of long-term trends, leveraging its scarcity, intrinsic value, and historical performance. Strategic action means having a roadmap, knowing your entry points, understanding your allocation, and moving decisively when the moment aligns with your plan. Consider the stories of investors who thrived during periods of uncertainty. While headlines screamed doom, they quietly accumulated silver, following a strategy built on research, observation, and timing. These investors knew that panic is the enemy of opportunity, and that the people who act with patience and precision are often the ones who reap the greatest rewards. Strategic action involves not just knowing when to buy, but also when to hold and when to increase positions, always guided by logic and long-term vision rather than emotion. This approach transforms silver investing from a speculative gamble into a calculated method of building wealth, giving the investor control and confidence even during turbulent times. Micro-hooks throughout this journey, such as observing global supply shifts, monitoring institutional behavior, and recognizing undervalued moments, reinforce the principle that informed action outperforms impulsive decisions every time. One of the critical elements of strategic action is understanding risk. Silver is not immune to volatility, but those who succeed understand that risk is not the enemy. It is a tool to be managed. They assess market dynamics, evaluate their financial position, and create strategies that allow them to act decisively without jeopardizing their long-term goals. This mindset is what separates successful investors from those who constantly react to fear or hype. Strategic action requires patience, but it also requires courage. The courage to trust research, the courage to step in when others hesitate, and the courage to remain steadfast in your plan even when uncertainty looms large. Real-life examples abound of investors who purchased silver during moments of public panic, who held through volatility, and who eventually realized gains that were impossible for reactive participants to achieve. Another dimension of strategic action is foresight. It's not enough to react to market conditions. Successful silver investors anticipate trends, understand macroeconomic forces, and position themselves ahead of shifts in supply, demand, and sentiment. They see opportunities where others see chaos. And they know that acting strategically in these moments can lead to disproportionate rewards. This is why continual learning, observation, and analysis are essential components of wealth building. Those who cultivate this mindset not only benefit financially, but also develop the confidence to navigate any market condition, using silver as both a financial tool and a symbol of deliberate, informed action. Strategic action also teaches discipline. Each purchase, each decision, each allocation made with foresight reinforces habits that compound into long-term success. It transforms the investor from someone who reacts to circumstances into someone who shapes them, who controls their financial destiny rather than being controlled by external forces. Silver becomes more than a metal. It becomes a ever for life planning, a way to build stability, freedom, and influence in a world where few people take decisive steps while others panic. By mastering strategic action, the investor cultivates not only wealth, but also confidence, resilience, and clarity, positioning themselves to take advantage of opportunities that fleeting fear and emotional reactions would otherwise obscure. Courage and uncertainty is one of the most powerful qualities an investor can possess, and when it comes to silver, it can make the difference between missed opportunity and transformative success. The markets are unpredictable. Headlines are designed to provoke fear, and economic shifts often seem sudden and overwhelming. Yet, those who act with courage in the face of uncertainty understand that the greatest opportunities often arise when others hesitate. Silver has a unique ability to reward those who step forward while the crowd steps back, providing not just financial growth, but also the confidence and clarity that come from taking calculated risks. This courage is not reckless. It is informed by research, guided by strategy, and reinforced by the understanding that long-term vision outweighs short-term panic. History is full of examples where courage in uncertain times led to extraordinary outcomes. Investors who recognized the potential of silver during periods of economic instability, who accumulated positions while others were driven by fear, eventually reaped substantial rewards. They saw beyond temporary market noise, understanding that scarcity, intrinsic value, and global demand create conditions where disciplined, courageous action can yield compounding benefits over time. Each decision to act, while others hesitate, reinforces a mindset of empowerment, where the investor feels in control, capable of navigating volatility, and positioned to seize opportunities that the unprepared will miss. Micro hooks, such as noticing subtle market signals, understanding shifts in global silver supply, or observing institutional activity, create moments of insight that can guide courageous decisions. Courage in uncertainty also requires trust in one's own research and intuition. The person who succeeds is not swayed by fear-driven headlines or the panic of the crowd. Instead, they cultivate knowledge, study historical trends, and develop a framework for decision-making that allows them to act decisively when others freeze. This ability to act with conviction turns silver from a mere investment into a strategic tool for freedom, security, and long-term growth. Real-life examples abound of individuals who held steadfast during periods of dramatic market fluctuation, who trusted in the principles of scarcity, industrial demand, and long-term value, and who eventually transformed their portfolios into sources of financial stability and opportunity. Another important aspect of courage is the willingness to take calculated risks. Silver investing is not without volatility, but those who embrace calculated risk understand that temporary fluctuations are part of the journey toward building wealth. They know that hesitation often leads to missed opportunities, while thoughtful, timely action can accelerate growth and establish a foundation of security. This mindset extends beyond finances. It builds resilience, adaptability, and the confidence to navigate uncertainty in all areas of life. Each courageous step taken in acquiring and holding silver reinforces habits of strategic thinking, emotional control, and disciplined action. Ultimately, courage in uncertainty is about recognizing opportunity where others see fear. It is about aligning action with vision, combining knowledge with boldness, and using silver as a vehicle to create not just wealth, but freedom, choice, and empowerment. Those who cultivate this courage position themselves to benefit from moments that fleeting fear would otherwise obscure, transforming challenges into advantages and turning uncertainty into a path toward lasting success. Mindset, discipline, and vision are the cornerstones of transforming silver from a simple investment into a tool for freedom, wealth, and long-term success. Many people focus solely on the numbers, the price charts, or the fluctuations of the market, but true financial transformation begins in the mind. How you perceive opportunity, how you respond to volatility, and how you align. Your actions with a long-term vision will determine the impact of every ounce of silver you acquire. Those who cultivate the right mindset approach silver not just as a commodity, but as a pathway to financial independence, a vehicle that empowers them to make choices that others cannot, and a symbol of their commitment to strategic growth. Discipline ensures that this vision is realized consistently, turning good intentions into tangible results over time. The power of mindset lies in perspective. Investors who succeed see beyond the daily noise, recognizing that silver's value is rooted in scarcity, historical reliability, and the combination of industrial demand with store value characteristics. They do not react impulsively to short-term fluctuations. Instead, they remain focused on the bigger picture, understanding that wealth built over time, through deliberate, consistent actions, compounds in ways that instant gains never can. Each purchase, each small accumulation reinforces a mindset of patience, foresight, and calculated action. Microhooks, such as noticing small shifts in supply chains, understanding global trends, or observing the behavior of strategic institutions, continually engage the mind, keeping it sharp, informed, and ready to act when opportunity aligns with strategy. Discipline is the bridge between mindset and results. It is the consistent application of knowledge, research, and strategy, transforming potential into tangible outcomes. Discipline ensures that the investor does not overreact to fear, does not chase hype, and does not abandon the long-term plan for temporary distraction. Successful silver investors develop habits that reinforce this discipline, whether it is regularly adding to positions, tracking trends, or setting allocation goals. These habits compound, creating a rhythm of action that drives long-term growth and positions the investor to capitalize on opportunities that others miss because they act without strategy or consistency. Vision is the element that gives purpose to mindset and discipline. Without vision, accumulation becomes mechanical and action lacks direction. Vision provides clarity, guiding decisions, and ensuring that every ounce acquired aligns with long-term goals, whether it is building financial security, creating generational wealth, or gaining freedom to pursue personal ambitions. It allows investors to navigate uncertainty with confidence, knowing that short-term volatility does not derail their ultimate objective. Real-life examples of individuals who combined mindset, discipline, and vision illustrate this principle vividly. They remained steadfast during market turbulence, they acted consistently in alignment with their goals, and they eventually achieved outcomes that far exceeded what short-term observers could imagine. The synergy of mindset, discipline, and vision also fosters resilience. Challenges, fluctuations, and temporary setbacks become opportunities to refine strategy, reinforce habits, and strengthen confidence. Silver becomes more than a commodity. It becomes a tangible reflection of a disciplined, visionary approach to life and finance. Every ounce accumulated is a statement of intent, a manifestation of foresight, and a tool that compounds not only wealth, but also the confidence, clarity, and freedom to live life on one's own terms. This combination is what allows investors to not just survive market uncertainty, but to thrive, turning strategic accumulation into lasting security and meaningful opportunity.